Ho, it's Virginia Chan from Human with a Chance of Fishbowls, and today we're going to be talking about everything that you need to know about Dragon Boat Festival, which is Duanwu. So let's do it. For 2020, it's going to occur on June 25th, which is this day. It's actually different every single year because the festival is based on the lunar calendar. I have a lunar calendar here and it is actually on the 5th month of the 5th day. So every year it's around near the summer solstice, and because it occurs on the 5th month of the 5th day, people also call it double 5th festival, and in Hong Kong in Chinese it's called Duanwu, which roughly translates to also like double 5th festival. So Dragon Boat Festival is officially a public holiday in mainland China, and then it's also celebrated in Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan. Now, how we celebrate it now is different to maybe how we celebrated it back in ancient times. There is slight variations obviously across different regions as well. In Hong Kong in current times, the main two ways that we celebrate Dragon Boat Festival is by one, dragon boat races, and two, eating zongs. Well, actually it's called zong, but then I pluraled it with my English S, so zongs. So this is the legend I heard growing up. So there's a poet named Wat Yun, and he was very loyal to his state, and also he was kind of like almost like the confidant to the emperor or the king at that time, and his state was called Chogo, or the state of Cho. And then the king slash emperor really wanted to become allies with another state called Chungo, or state of Chun. And Wat Yun was really against that because that state was a lot more powerful than their state, and he didn't think it was a good idea. But the emperor didn't listen to him and instead exiled and isolated him away. And because Wat Yun was very loyal to his state and he was very loyal to his country, he felt very depressed and he ended up drowning himself in the river. And he was someone that everybody loved. He was like a people's man, and people were very, very sad. When the people of the state heard that, they like raced out in their boats, racing out, and that's supposedly the origins of dragon boat racing, to that river to try to save him, or at the very least retrieve his body. And another thing was, people didn't want other sea creatures eating his body, so instead they would throw mounds of sticky rice into the water, so then the sea creatures could eat the rice instead of Wat Yun's body. So that is also supposedly the origins of Zong. So these are zong, and they're sticky rice dumplings. They also say that there is a very auspicious sound to the name. So zong also sounds similar to maybe winning a prize, which is zhongzheng. So that's why it's lucky as well. In different places that celebrate Dragon Boat Festival, the zongs and what's inside and the shape of it actually is slightly different. And if you're really traditional, you usually would make this at home and give them away to your friends and family. Given that it's quarantine and we don't have that much family in Hong Kong, we have purchased these. In zongs in Hong Kong, we've got 3 common ones, and then the leaf that we wrap them in is actually bamboo leaf. 2 of them are savory, 1 is sweet. This is the sweet one. This is called gan shui zong. Gan shui means alkaline water, so they do use alkaline water in here, and it's supposed to bring out the flavors of the filling inside. So the filling inside is going to be red bean or red bean paste. So it's just going to be red bean paste or red bean with the glutinous rice. Then we have the savory type, and this one is called ham yok zhong, which means like salty meat zhong. And inside we'll have the glutinous rice, split mung bean or green bean, then there is the fatty pork or half lean, half fatty pork, and then the salted egg yolk. Those are the 4 main ingredients. The other one that I don't have that's also common is called gaozeng zhong, and that one kind of means like assorted or like miscellaneous. It's got all the things that I've mentioned before in this savory one, but it's also got like scallops, shrimp, and all this other stuff, and that one we couldn't find at the store, so we don't have it. So we're gonna be trying these soon, after I finish this informative bit. Alright, and now we're going to be talking about dragon boat and dragon boat racing. It's a really big activity and there's a couple of places that you can either join or watch it. Stanley's probably the most popular one, the one that's most commercial, meaning that all of the big banks, all of the big companies will have their own company boat and then they encourage their employees to go and join in the dragon boat, and it's like a really fun activity that you can join. Usually what happens is if you win the cup, they pour beer into it and then they drink it from the trophy cup and they pass it around and everybody just gets smashed. And then there's another one that happens in Tayo. So Stanley is the one that's like super fun, but if you're looking for like culture, I would recommend the Tayo one. The Tayo one is called the Dragon Boat Water Parade of Tayo, and it's more cultural and it's more traditional. So with Tayo, what they do is they don't do a race, but rather they will have a group of dragon boaters, is that what you call them? They go to the different 4 temples, they'll actually bring up the deities of the temples, and then they would put them on the dragon boat and they will have a parade down the water canals, and then everybody along the canal, if you live in a stilt house, can burn offerings for them, etc. So it's really cool. That's the one that I would recommend if you're into cultural and history. If you're looking for like drinks, entertainment, then go to the Stanley one. You're gonna have so much fun and you're gonna get really drunk. So right now we're talking about Dragon Boat Festival, but in terms of dragon boat, it's like a whole entire different animal, entire different sport. It's something completely different that I'm probably not going to touch too much upon today in this video. Came across a list of taboos. They're a little bit more outdated, I would say, because some of it isn't that strong on gender equality, but I'll tell you nevertheless because they are the traditional bits. So 7 taboos that the boat dwellers in Tayo. Apparently 1, girls can't touch the dragon boat. 2, if the wife is pregnant, then that year the guy can't actually touch or join the dragon boat, and it's because they believe the dragon boat is like actually the dragon. So the dragon is very powerful and it's also very fierce, and they believe that fierce energy isn't so good for that unborn child. 3, if it's a traditional dragon boat, then they also once again believe that the dragon boat is mythical and super sacred, so you can't use shoes or slippers to step into the boat itself. You have to go barefoot. 4, within the week of the Dragon Boat Festival, the dragon boaters, when they're eating fish at home, they can't turn over the fish. So when we eat fish, as seen in my other video, I'll link here, we like to steam a whole fish. They can't turn over the fish because that looks like the boat turning over or capsizing, so they're very careful not to do that during the week of Dragon Boat Festival. 5, if you unfortunately have a death in the family, within that month you can't touch the dragon boat itself as well. 6, if you live in Tayo during the Dragon Boat Festival and when the dragon boat parade comes on, you are to take away all the clothes from your stilt house because it is to show respect to the dragon boat. And 7, before the really super important ceremony of, you know, awakening the dragon and burning the incense, you can't sound the drums and it has to be very peaceful. So there's like 2 really important ceremonies that you have to do. One of them is called dumplings, and that means like, you probably seen it as well for lion jazz. It's when they paint on the eyes of the dragon or the lion, and then the other one is like putting it to sleep at the end as well. So there's like important ceremonies that they adhere to. There are some olden day rituals that we don't really do in Hong Kong, or at least it's not very common, but I'll tell you because they're actually kind of interesting. So apparently in the lunar year, the 5th month is not very good. Apparently 5 doesn't sound very good, so if it's the 5th month of the 5th day, it's not a very good day. So to scare away any evil spirits or to scare away any ailments, etc., they like to hang different like Chinese mugwort leaves in front of their door, and that's to scare away any of the evil spirits. They also will drink a particular alcohol also to kill any germs because alcohol kills germs. They will also carry on some herbal pouches, kind of like potpourri, and that will also scare away and ward away any evil spirits. Also, the kids wear these bracelets that have like 5 different colors, and that's also known for good luck. And also one really cool thing that I read about is that there's something called lap dan, which means that you have to make the egg sit upright. If the egg can sit upright, that means that you're gonna have a really good year. So, Rumi, we're gonna have a contest. Alright, so Rumi and I are gonna have a contest. Here's my egg. We're gonna do it on the, is the table flat? So we're gonna try to upright the egg or have it stand on its top. Have it stand upright, correct? I don't know what you call it, but you know what I mean. It has to stand like that. So we're probably gonna fast forward this because I think it's gonna take a really long time. Ready, set, go! I won. Hey! Excellent. For us, during this time of year, it's really easy for us to get zongs in Hong Kong. We can get them at bakeries, we can get them at restaurants, we can even have locals make them and then you can actually buy them online or your family will give them to you, etc. But where you live, maybe check out the Chinese supermarkets if you're interested in trying. Alright, we've talked a lot about these zongs, but now what we're gonna do is we're gonna teach you how to cook them and then we're gonna teach you how to eat them. So let's do it. So we're just figuring out because all of them had different cook times. The big one here needs to be in there for 30 minutes. This one is 20 minutes and this one is 20 to 25. So I think in order to eat them all at the same time, you're going to throw the big one in for 10 minutes and then throw all the other ones in. So basically all you have to do is boil it in. Some people steam them, but the most common way is just to boil it. You don't have to take anything off. You boil it as is with all the strings and the leaves attached. I asked our auntie and we usually will boil it, not steam it, because steaming it will take way too long. And right now, to know when it's cooked is if you can poke it and have a chopstick go through smoothly, then you know it's cooked. So what you want to do is you want to cut off the strings and then just unwrap it. Ta-da. That's it. Alright, finally we have them cooked and we have them cross-sectioned, and starting from left to right we have the more traditional ones to the more fusion ones. So starting with the savory here, you will see that it has a fatty pork, it's got a salted duck egg yolk, and then it's got split green bean. And why it doesn't look green is because they've taken off the skin, and of course the outside is glutinous rice. Then coming down here, the second one, it's a different color because once you put the alkaline water, or what you call it lei water, is that how you pronounce it, it actually changes the color of the glutinous rice. I thought it would be red bean because usually it's red bean, but actually it's gonna be a lotus seed paste inside in this one. And then moving to the savory one, this one is the one that my roommate thinks is gonna be the best because it's got more stuff inside. And obviously we like all the little bits and pieces besides the rice. This is the fusion one, so it's supposed to have a full scallop inside with all the usual suspects. So the split green bean, and then we've got the fatty pork, and then the salted duck egg yolk is in there. We'll see. And then last but not least, they have the sweet one, and their sweet one is supposed to be also lotus seed paste, but then it also has purple yam inside too. So it looks pretty. All right, let's begin. I really like to have a dipping sauce for anything. Sweet goes with sugar, and then salty goes with soy sauce. So bon appetit. Okay, so we've got the first traditional one. This is about 20 bucks. And I got it at a place called Duanwu Festival. I would actually recommend you to get it at the local places and even the housewives that actually make their own zongs and put it up on the internet to sell. Shall we?
Festival. We actually eat it occasionally as well.
Oh, really? My grandma used to make it, and then once she retired, no one else makes it in her family. It's not bad. It's what I would think of a zong to taste like, right? It's normal. It's not terrible. It's not like, wow. I like it. Okay, next. Oh, you can still see it. Next, we've got their sweet one. I prefer savory food, so I don't know if I'm gonna love this one. You can smell the gasoil. You can smell the alkaline water. Oh, did you put it in the sugar? Oh, really?
Yeah.
It kind of feels like I'm eating wonton mean. Because I used alkaline water in the wonton meat as well. Next, I got this one from Thai Heng, and this is 50 bucks. So they're almost They're more than double the traditional ones.
Because the sea has a dry scallop.
So that's what they try to do, right? They put in like a dried scallop or an abalone and then they make it triple or quadruple times the price. And also I think because people eat, it's like dim sum, right? People eat so much traditional dim sum and so much traditional food all the time that they don't mind every once a year trying like a fusion run, right? Which is why there's so many fusion things. I actually prefer the taste of that one. And it's kind of dry.
And then the green bean is actually not as like, go.
Yeah, it's a little bit more dry. It's not as mean. But the green bean is just all over. It doesn't have the Zong taste. Mama there. C plus. A minus? A C. Whoa. Next. This was the one that you thought would taste the best. Are you disappointed?
Yeah. The price as well. It's $50.
Alright, also from Taichung. Oh, sorry.
So what, like a tour guide, but then
Taichung is where you buy egg tarts. Taihing is where you go to eat barbecue meat. But apparently they also make zhongs as well. Okay, this is the sugary one or sweet one. Oh, this one has the taosa, the red bean that you like. Also, I screwed up in the description as well. Huh. It's sweet, but it doesn't have that much taste. Oh no, something's flashing.
Oh, battery.
Oh no! Okay, let's Alright, that concludes the taste testing. Alright, so that's it. We're gonna leave some information in the description of other places if you're based in Hong Kong where you can get zhongs that we like and that are local, independent, and like mom and pop shops. And by the way, as we were waiting for this battery to finish charging, we're actually trying weird snacks. So this one is a chicken rice flavor chip. This one is a char siu barbecue pork rice chip. This will be on Instagram stories. Our Instagram link is here. My personal Instagram to do with all my everyday shenanigans and failed baking videos will be here as well. And if you liked the video or learned a little bit something about Dragon Boat Festival, please do consider subscribing, liking, or commenting. I know it sounds like the most common YouTube thing there is, but it really actually helps with our algorithm and engagement numbers. So YouTube loves this sort of stuff. And that's about it. So wait, what's the weather like in Hong Kong? Well, it's humid with a chance of fish balls. Till next time, Jackie. We will get into the origin story and history of the festival. Pew, 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 pew. Well, actually, you call them zhong, but in my Chinglish, then I just pearled it.